Satnam. So here's a video on a general overview of this time that we're living in. So please watch it until the end and we'll help you, I promise. So stay with it. So let's talk about the time that we're in right now. From an evolutionary perspective, humanity is in a great time of transition on our planet. And if you're sensitive to energy, you may feel it as a general unease in your physical body, right? And the intensity of your emotions are probably escalating day by day. Changes in the air, and you can see it all around you with the continued exposure, right, of the corruption of our leaders. The institutions that we previously relied upon, right, to provide us security, they're collapsing, right, like a house of cards, like the government, military, the police, the banking system, the educational system, religions, our health systems. And we're seeing more and more random acts of violence. You know, and I just read the other day, on average, one person every 40 seconds commits suicide somewhere out in the world. So we're in the information age, right? And this technological progress has taken us farther and farther away from the natural world. So the average person is subject to as much information in 1 week as our great-great-great-grandparents were exposed in their entire lifetime. So between the smartphones, the computers, the TV, internet, the radio, advertising, the human psyche is being bombarded with information. So this in turn is playing havoc on our nervous system. And without a buffer zone for the mind, this information can cause us mental overload, or what we call stress. So the information age promised humanity more leisure time, but instead we're expected to do more in less time. And this amplifies stress-related problems like insomnia, anxiety, depression, and so on. So our nervous system is getting fried, and it's becoming more and more difficult to just slow down and relax. So the positive impact of the internet has made the world much smaller, right? We're able to communicate with one another like we've never been able to do before. But yet at the same time, we're more disconnected and isolated from each other, from real human contact. And you see this in public places. It's now socially acceptable for people to be on their smartphones rather than connecting to the real live person in front of them. So many people are experiencing great loss in their lives. Divorce, separation, change of career, financial crisis, death, and health problems, right? Our biggest challenges right now can be found in our relationships. And you notice that our relationships are becoming more and more challenging. So we're supposedly more civilized than our ancestors. Yet, as a collective, we're still solving our problems through punishment, violence, and war. Right? We still have the problems of poverty and starvation. More than 3 billion people live on less than $2.50 a day. More than 1.3 billion live in extreme poverty, less than $1.25 a day. And 1 billion children live in poverty. And according to UNICEF, 22,000 children die each day due to poverty, right? We're still living in this dog-eat-dog world of competition and separation. So if we look through our two physical eyes at this time, it can bring despair and depression. Our future looks frightening as the world seems to be headed towards some cataclysm, that once again we're going to destroy this planet and everything on it. So if we were to use any word to describe this time, it would be change. And the most drastic change that we can see is on our planet itself, with these strange weather patterns. The hurricanes, the flooding, the earthquakes. And this is much more than global warming, much more than the media is telling us.
Humans are changing and there's nothing to be afraid of, but the facts are, this world has changed many times. There was a time of Noah Ark, flood came, 1, 2, 3, wiped out everything. Atlantis happened, certain part of the earth went 1, 2, 3, nothing was left. Things can happen. But this time, you are expecting little bit earthquake here, earthquake there, little weather temperaments, weather is changing, those kind of things. But mostly human are changing.
So we too, as a humanity, are going through our own inner earthquakes. This restlessness that we feel, this pressure to change, this pressure to evolve, and this things that you used to find tolerable or things that you used to just put up with or make do, they're no longer tolerable to you. And we're seeing this just around the world with all the civil uprisings, because people are starting to wake up. They're waking up to the truth of how we've given our power over to outer authorities. The truth of how this ego has completely hijacked our planet and has done a great disservice to humanity. You know, what's in it for me? The greed, the wealth, the hoarding. So the only way we can understand these times without freaking out is to elevate up and shift into another gear, into our spiritual perspective. So the Aquarian Age marks the great shift of our human civilization on this planet at this time. Now, astronomers have observed what's called the precession of the equinoxes, which is tracking the motion of the night sky, and they discovered that it shifts backwards by a small amount every single year. So this is what is meant by the precession of the zodiac, or the precessional movement. It slowly moves through each of the 12 signs of the zodiac. So astrologers would say that we're in a different age or zodiac sign, depending on which constellations are visible in the sky on the vernal equinox, which is around the beginning of the spring, right, in the northern hemisphere. So it takes 26,000 years to complete a full cycle through the zodiac, and this is called the Great World Cycle. Now, there's also another great marker of time that's not talked about as much. And the ancient civilizations knew about this grand cycle of time that could be divided into what is called yugas, or ages. So the state of our overall human civilization depends on where we are in this cycle. So these ancient scriptures describe 4 yugas through which humankind has spiritually developed. So the beginning of this great cycle is called the Sat Yuga. This is the age of truth, or the golden age. And this is the age of innocence, and this is where we're one, woman is one with the divine and all of creation. This lasted about 1,728,000 years. And then came the Treta Yuga. This is the Silver Age, when the power of truth was weakened to 3/4. And this is when the inner being, your divine self, became very weak. And this lasted for 1,296,000 years. And next came the Dopar Yuga, the Copper Age, when the truth was only a half revealed. And this is where humans worshipped God in some kind of form. And this lasted 864,000 years. Then came the Kal Yuga, and this is the time that we've been in now. And the truth is only 1/4 revealed. So the divine inner being is very, very weak, barely existent. And this age is known as the Dark Age, the Age of Steel, or the Machine Age. And this has lasted for 432,000 years. So these 4 yugas together make up 4,320,000 Earth years. This is the big cycle called the Maha Yoke, or the Great Age. So not only are we moving into the Aquarian Age, but we're also ascending back to the very beginning, into the Sat Yuga, the Golden Age. So this is when our divine nature reaches its absolute fullness. And the Golden Age also correlates to the movement of our solar system. We live in a binary star solar system. Our solar star has a companion sun, which is located at the galactic center of the universe. And it takes 4,320,000 Earth years for our solar system to be in close orbit to the galactic center. So the galactic sun is transmitting divine energy to our solar sun, right? And then to the planet, and in turn to us as part of our evolutionary change. So that's what all this solar flare activity is about. And the evolutionary light will transmute our DNA, which will trigger a massive release of our inner light, throwing off shadow patterns and awakening our inner divine being. So that's why 2012 was a big deal. It's the first time the Earth came into alignment with the galactic center. So do you see what a big deal this is? We're returning home. This is the return of Eden, the myth spoken about in the Bible. We're in an amazing time for humanity to have this great blessing to go through this shift. So this is the age of enlightenment that's coming, a time of remembering and waking up to the truth of who you are, a spiritual being having human experiences. So does that mean you kick back and you get yourself a galactic suntan? Well, yes and no. Yes, you open yourself up to receive this evolutionary energy, but you also have to participate, or life's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you, right? Humanity is moving back into the Heart Chakra. This is where unity consciousness lives. This is the recognition that we're all one. And in fact, humanity is just one organism. So how does this work? Right? How are we all going to come into our hearts? Well, it's a process. And our solar plexus is going through a mutation. Scientists have discovered that this is our second brain. Yogi Bhajan says, the master of Kundalini Yoga, in the stomach there will be a light. The heart center will light up. All people will be kind, compassionate, and enlightened. People will become intuitive. You're going to learn from the navel point, because the navel point will become the third eye. So this is the self-sensory system that Yogi Bhajan talked about, also known as the solar plexus mutation. So presently, human awareness, our human awareness system, is through our mind. We experience life reality through our mind. And the most refined mind is intuitive, right? This relates to the third eye. Often says it lives here, right at the brow point. The truth is that the third eye, mystically speaking, can be found in every one of your trillions of cells. This is what omniscience is. It's a 360-degree view of the universe. So this is when you realize that it's actually God that's seeing through you. So this new awareness system, the solar plexus, is connected to our emotions. So we're evolving through our emotional body. So there's no way to get around this. This is why your emotions are becoming more and more intense. The solar plexus is awakening. So the solar plexus releases the stuck emotions from your past and uses that like a hydraulic system that travels to your heart chakra to awaken your heart. So these stuck emotions, they come from your childhood. And emotion means energy in motion. Emotions are fluid. They're meant to move unobstructed through you. So what happens is our conditioning. We're told as children that emotions are bad and wrong, and then they crystallize in the body. And this is when we also shut down our hearts as children. And this is why inner child work is so important for your evolutionary process. You can be 45 years old, but a hurt little inner child still lives inside you waiting to be healed. So when you're going through your emotional crisis in your life, it's your inner child that's calling you back to heal. That's what's going on. Most people are not even aware of the pain of their inner child because it's so deeply buried in their psyche. And I've worked with lots of people who were unaware that there was so much pain inside them from childhood that's been covering up their hearts, right? That's been blocking them in life. So it's crucial at this time to heal your past. It's your past, right? That when it's healed, it will become the compost so that you can grow into your future Aquarian self. Everything that's happened to you in the past, good or bad, it happened to you for a reason. So now it's time to purify and come back into your innocence. And Jesus Christ talked about this. To enter the kingdom of heaven, the Sacred Heart, the Age of Aquarius, the Golden Age, you must be like a child. He meant that you must become innocent again. Not ignorant innocent like a little baby, but to be wise innocent, which is innocence with awareness, which is your true power, your strength. And this is what it means to be a spiritual adult, right? We're all growing up for this new golden age. So I have an 8-week online program to heal the inner child. So go to the website, callousyogi.com, to learn more. And please sign up for a free 3-video series gift to get yourself unstuck. It's on my website. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also visit Patreon if you feel called to support these ongoing messages. And of course there's iTunes too, podcasts. And here's a powerful, powerful Kundalini Yoga meditation to release childhood anger. And this will definitely get you going to get your solar plexus mutation activated. So see the link in the information box. And please share this video with others. Okay? So Sat Nam and peace be with you.